there and welcome back to Build with the Boys. We now have issue 42 of Hachette's Build the Titanic. Now I'm going to level with you. I don't know if I'm about to build this or not, and the reason why is because over Christmas I noticed my eyesight was failing badly. So I've had to go and get glasses, which I'm due to pick up tomorrow. Now the detailing on this is miniature. So we're doing details for the bridge, so we're doing the parts of the wheelhouse, but tiny parts. So I do have my goggles, which are around here somewhere. Hopefully we can do this, because I really want to. I really want to do this. I really want to get this done. I don't know where my goggles are. They're probably right in front of me, I just can't see them. But you are going to need very good eyes or magnifiers for this. You just are, because these parts are absolutely miniature. So we're going to be adding a part to the front of the part we made in 41. We are going to be adding some stickers to either side to make the navigational lights red and green. We're putting bulbs into those as well. Now, I know you think, oh, I prefer green LED or red LED. I don't know, but I would assume that wasn't how this was done on the Titanic. I assume it would have been a standard light, and there would have been a glass reflector in front of it in that colour, rather than the bulb itself being green or red. I can't see it. Back in the day, I can't see that being the case. This would have shone through, I believe, tinted glass, which is what this is going to do. So it might be very accurate. We're going to be adding a lot of tiny detail to this. So we've got the telegraphs to go in there, we've got the benches, we've got the wheels. It's a lot. But we'll see. I'm hoping I can do this. I'm going to try. I'm hoping I can. And then at the end of this, we are back at the movies, and over Christmas I got to watch SOS Titanic, and you know what? It wasn't bad. We'll talk all about it at the end. But let's get this open, let's get into this, let's get this built. So just quickly before we get into it, this is what I use. For those of you that suffer like me, I use a set of magnifying goggles, or as my wife likes to call them, the woman repellers, for obvious reason. I'll pop one here like that, and then these adjust. You can move these up and down, these go backwards and forwards. There are 5 different lenses come with this. I've got a light as well, so I can see what I'm doing. So if you ever see a washout, that's exactly what I'm up to. But you can see it's not the most attractive look in the world, but it definitely helps. So for these tiny details, this is what you can use. You can pick these up from Amazon for around about 15 to 20 quid a pair. I swear by them. I have to at the moment because I can't see anything. But yeah, so if you're having trouble with these tiny details, believe me, as crazy as they make you look, they do work well. But let's get this open. Let's get this built. Okay, so this is the part we're going to be working with. This is going to attach to the front of the part we made in 41. These are the stickers that we got with this. Now, these are tiny stickers, but you can see there's actually 3 on each of these. And they are going to stick. So the one with the hole is going to go over here, cover that hole. The very tiny one's going to go there, and the longer one's going to go there. So I think we're going to go for that one first, and then these two to sort of pin that one to the wall. That's what we're going to do. Now, which goes where? Well, it's a very good question. The green goes to, so if we're looking down, if this is the bow, and we're looking to the stern, if we're looking at this way, if you don't know your port side from your starboard side, this would be left, this would be right. Okay, so red, right. If you're looking down the bow, red, right. So R for red, R for right. That's the easiest way to think of this. This is starboard, this is port side. Okay, starboard, port side. So if you're looking down a ship from the bow, and you're looking towards the stern of the ship, your right-hand side where you are facing would be port side, your left-hand side would be starboard side. So green will go to starboard, red will go to port side. Does that help? In my head, that makes sense, but you might be hearing and go, what is he babbling about? Makes perfect sense to me. Anyway, let's get these stuck on. I'll see if there's any problems. If there are, I'll talk you through the next one. So I'll do one first. If it just goes on easy, you know how to do it. If it doesn't, I'll talk you through what we do. Okay, so we've got a red one on. That was easy enough. Get some focus. There we go. Oh God, there we go. Right. So green, simple enough. Let me show you. Right. Over there. Off you. Yeah, simple enough, he says, and then makes an absolute pig's ear the second one that he does. Okay. So first part like so. I'm going to take our second one, so I went for the little one next. Let's get that one up. I'm going to take a tiny one here. I'm going to pop that in here like so. So there's our little green one in there. And then finally the long one at the bottom, which should pin these two in its place. Now this one is the one I have a little difficulty with, believe it or not, on the red one. So hopefully this goes in without too much of a fight this time. There we go. That's it. That's our green in. Done. Easy enough. Okay, let's move on to part 2. Okay, so bringing up our section from the last issue, this part is going to fit over this part. Now, you will have 2 pins here and here, which are going to go into there and there. Now, they've said this is tricky to fit. If a magazine admits that, that screams to me bloody nightmare to fit. But that's okay, I don't think that's that bad yet, unless that's not how that goes. That's not how that goes. That's how that goes. I see. Right. So that's got to go. That's got to sit like that. Christ, they weren't kidding. That's got to go over. Yeah, there's a little bending needs to happen here, I think. That's never a fun thing to have to do. Christ alive. Yeah, they weren't kidding with this. Maybe tricky to fit, yeah. No kidding. Right, let's have a look. There's got to be another way to do this. We got him. Right, once you get these parts over, clip these parts over, and this should be a case of just pulling this down. And hopefully, yep, we're straight. Good. Okay. So there's your keys. Get these parts in. Once those are in, push down onto the tabs and you're good. Now we are going to hold this in place with some CP screws. 2 of. Let's grab those out. That was tricky. They weren't kidding when this is tricky to install. It bloody is tricky to install, but it's snug. And that's important because it means it ain't going to go anywhere. It's definitely going to go anywhere. I have to put these in. So I'm going to put 2 CP screws, one in here. There's no need to use oil. We're going plastic to plastic. This isn't like the hull. So oil will actually not do you favours here. It'll do the opposite of what it's supposed to do. So don't worry about putting oil on this. That's 1 screw in. Now let's pop our second screw in here. Okay, so that's that in place, and that's how we are now looking. Happy with that. Now we have to do the tiny details. This is where if I'm going to come unstuck, this is where I'm going to come unstuck. So we now have these tiny glass bulbs, which you can see here, if I can get this to focus. Now they only have a half lug, as you can see, so we're only going to go in one way on this. But we are going to pop this one into here. That should be that way around. I really don't want this to ping off into oblivion. There we go, and we're in. So we have a red bulb in. Do the exact same thing now with the green. Okay, take our green bulb. Kill this light for you. We're going to slot this one in here, like so. There you go. Now we'll push all the way down. There we go. So our green bulb is now in there, and our red bulb is now in there like so. So now it does ask you at the very end to test these, but we're going to do a lot more to the bottom, and rather than flip it around, I'm going to test them now. So it does ask you to test these one final time. No idea why, because we know the bulbs work, but I suppose just see the pretty reds and pretty greens, I guess. So let's have a look at red working. There's our red. Oh, it's lovely. Happy with that. And let's flip it around and look at our green. You ain't playing ball, are you? And there's green. Do you know what else I can see, which I'm really not happy about? Light bleed. So there is significant light bleed on there, and I'm not happy about it. Did you see that? I'll show what I'm talking about. Right, so there's our green light. But here is white light. And here at the front here, white light. Not happy about that. You can fix that with insulation tape, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is going to install this tiny piece of decking. So we've got this little piece here, and that will be fit just in here. Let's pop that one in. Smooth down. There we go. So that little piece of decking's in there, and that's how we're now looking. So this is going to be, all along here, is going to be our wheelhouse. Let's get this decking down properly. It's very snug, this decking. There we go. Right, so we have got all the tiny details going here and here now. Wish me luck, because I can't see a bloody thing. Okay, so we've got the telegraphs in. Sorry about that light. They are tiny, 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 but that's where our 5 telegraphs are going to go. The next thing we are going to install, I believe, are the platforms. You can glue these if you need to glue these. If you don't need to glue these, don't glue them. I mean, again, I'm trying to be sparing with glue on mine. But you do you, man. If you're happy with the fit, then you're happy with the fit, ain't you? Right, so first platform's going to go here. Now, this has got a large lug and a small lug, so it's only going to go in one way. And that way is going to be, of course, the way that I don't have this round. Right. So let's try and get this one in. So there we go. That's that one in. Does that need gluing? No, God, no. That's firm as hell. I mean, again, glue if you want to. Glue if you want to. Don't let me, you know, you do what's right for you. But I'm trying to avoid using glue everywhere I can because I don't want this caked in glue. So if it's got a firm fit, then it's got a firm fit. And I mean, no one's going to be jamming their hands in there or anything. So I'm happy with how we are. Now we're going to take our second platform. That's going to go in here. Again, that's firm. That's going nowhere. So that's how our platforms are now looking. Okay. Right. My eyes are struggling here, I don't mind telling you. The 2 binnacles are going in next. Okay. These parts are just getting smaller and my eyes are just struggling more and more and more. Right, so I'm going to get these binnacles out. There's 1. There's 2. Let's see where these are going to go. Okay. So, our 2 binnacles. I've always got it in the wrong bloody way. I don't know how I do that. So that's that one in, that's going nowhere. So that's the first binnacle in. And then we'll have 1 more. Okay, and this one is going to go, let's make sure it's the right hole. This one is going to fit in here, so just in the hole in front of the hole in front of the bench, if that makes sense. There we go. So our binnacles are in. Is that straight? Now it's in. Now it's in. There we go. Lovely. Right. There we go. Now we'll do the wheels. Now, I think... Is it the wheels yet? No. It's the poles. Okay. God, I really don't want these to ping off because, like I said, I'll never find these. Okay. So we've got to, they can't just be called poles. Pillars. Okay. So our first pillar is going to go in there. That's one. Let's get the second pillar. Christ, I can't even pick it up. That's how small this is. I'm struggling through this because there's a reason why. Normally I'd edit and you'd just see me do this. I'm like, God, any good? But because a lot of you have problems with the tiny details on the funnel, I just wanted to show that it's not, you know, it's not you. It's difficult. So you can see me sort of struggle with this, you know, for a while that, you know, if you're struggling, we all do, man. Right, so there's two pillars. Those are in. Okay. What are we on to next? So next we are on to the Peloras. Okay. And where are they going? Okay. I see. Right. So we have, I guess small these parts are, shocking. So we have one in here. I believe, is that right? Yeah. So one is going to go here. Now those will need gluing. We'll just pop them in for now and then I'll glue them in a minute. And one is going to go in here. Those will definitely need gluing. So we have those tiny Peloras in there. I mean, it's looking nice. It's looking nice. Now this is the really hard part for me. We have to assemble a wheel. Now, just so I can give you an idea of how small we're talking here. Let me get the wheel. So there's the wheel. There's the arm that's going to hold the wheel. Now this is the really bloody tiny part. Look how small that is. And that's like a pinhead. So I've got to, Christ, I've got to fit that to this, to that, and then I'll fit the wheel. I'm going to have to literally hold this in front of my face. I can't film me doing it. I'm sorry for that, but that's how this is going to work. I'm going to put it together and then we'll take a look at it. Okay, so this is how I built the wheel. I put the pin down first. I took the wheel. I'm going to need my light. I'm sorry if I wash you out. And that's just the way. The first one went on easy. There we go. So now the wheel's on. So I've done it that way. Now I take this part. I'm going to lower this onto this. So we find that. We push down. And then ta-da, we have this tiny wheel, but because we haven't glued it, our wheel will rotate because it's not been glued. But that will hold, and let's install them to the actual ship. Okay, so let's install these. The first one's going in there, like so. And our second one is going in here. And there we have it. So those are our details, tiny details. Complete, and that's how our wheelhouse is looking. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Good. That was rough. That was rough because I can't see anything. So that was really rough. Let's have a chat. So that's that one done. That was tough. I'm not gonna lie. For me, that was tough. You might find it a lot easier, but again, my eyes have had it. They're shot. So it was difficult for me to the tiny details. It was. I get my glasses tomorrow though, so that'll be good. But I like it. I like the little details on there. I think it looks lovely. We're gonna have the surround and whatnot going on there next, so that'll be good. Those wheels are a bugger. I'm not gonna lie to you. But again, somebody with far better eyes than me, that probably won't be a problem. There is light bleed, as I said. Now, I'm probably gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. If you would like to see how I fix light bleed in a really easy way, because you'll hear all kinds of nonsense about, oh, you need to put foil inside it or paint it black, or you don't need to do any of that, right? You don't need to do any of that at all. You can fix this with a roll of electrical tape you can get in the pound shop, right? That's literally all you need to do. To see me doing this, if you go to my channel, you will find a video in the Disney Doll's House section about a Tinkerbell lantern that was suffering from light bleed, and you'll see how I fix it. I fix it with insulation tape. So if you want to know how to fix light bleed, go and see that one, and the principles of it are there. Basically, it shows you how you can do this very quickly, cheap, simple, without causing any kind of damage to your model. You don't have to paint anything. You don't need to do any of that. Go and check the video out. You'll see how easy it is to fix light bleed. It's not difficult at all. And we'll sort that out. If you were stopping by for the instructions, thank you for stopping by. Please remember to like and subscribe. If you're hanging around for our Titanic talk, we're talking about a movie I watched over Christmas called SOS Titanic from 1979. Now, depending on where you live in the world, depends on how you saw this. So this was a TV movie originally. This was part of, I think it's called $1 Million Movie of the Week or something. It was a TV movie released in America on, I believe, 2 consecutive nights, and it had a running time of about 3 hours. However, that cut is long since forgotten. If you saw it in the UK, it was released in cinemas in the UK, where they'd stripped the running time down to around about the 2-hour mark, which is what I watched. I looked into what I'd missed. Not much. So what can I tell you about this one? It ain't bad. I mean, that's what I can tell you. For a TV movie, it's got a significant budget. I mean, the budget's there. It cast a lot of what at the time were unknowns or lesser known actors, but now some of them have gone on to prominence. Most notably Helen Mirren. So Helen Mirren is in this, as is, and this is a bizarre one, and I don't think this happened by accident, David Warner is in this. Now, that means David Warner is the only person that I know of that has appeared in 2 different Titanic movies, because he's also in the 1997 James Cameron Titanic. David Warner plays Billy Zane's Cal's bodyguard, like his footman. But in this one, he plays a romantic lead, which is unusual. So what's this one about? Well, it's about the Titanic, obviously, but the hook to this one is it's told from the perspectives of 3 different people. So you see the perspectives of somebody from 3rd class, somebody from 2nd class, and somebody from 1st class. And they've all got a kind of a hokey story attached to each of them, as they always do. The pros of it are that it's not a bad movie. Honestly, it's a good movie. I'd say after A Night to Remember, before 97's Titanic came out, this would have been the second best Titanic movie. It would have, because the pickings are slim. So before the 97 Titanic movie came out, I'd say this was probably the second best Titanic movie behind A Night to Remember. because it's not bad. I mean, this was one of the first colour Titanic movies as well. I believe this was the first colour Titanic movie. And it's good. It's not bad. I mean, honestly, if this was on TV, if this was on like Turner Classic Movies or something like that, it was on, watch it. It's worth your time. It's not a bad movie at all. It's not. If you're looking for kind of historical accuracy, you're not going to get that. If you're looking for accurate portrayal of that, you're not going to get that either. It's a disaster movie set on board a ship, is what it is. It was released in the same era as movies like Towering Inferno and Airport and Roller Coaster and Earthquake. It jumped on those basically. Had a lovely poster though. Check the poster out. So it's good. I mean, it's worth your time. It's not a bad movie. I mean, I have seen bad Titanic movies. I've seen a lot of bad Titanic movies since I've been doing this, and I don't think this is that bad. I actually think this is quite good. Is it in the top 3? Yeah, I think it is. I think number 1 for me is still A Night to Remember. I think that is the gold standard. Number 2, closely behind A Night to Remember, is 97's Titanic. Behind that, I'd put this one. I would put SOS Titanic in 3rd place. That would be my top 3. At the dead bottom of our list is Titanic 666, which I think is just a vile film. It's not good. It's not entertaining. It's got no budget. It's nothing really much to do with the Titanic. It's quite disrespectful. It's just not a good movie. That is the dead bottom. And then very closely, I mean, I'd like to put them in shared bottom, is the animated movie Titanic: The Legend Goes On, which is just mental. Absolutely mental. A complete misfire. Really bad. But that's what we watch. So next week we are, if it turns up, because I mean, twice this is supposed to have turned up and didn't. Next month we will be watching Raise the Titanic, which I've been told is absolutely mental, and not in a good way. But we'll find out. We'll find out. That's all for this one. We will be back very, very, very soon with issue 43. And another Titanic talk. So if you've enjoyed that, please remember to give us a like and hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. I know thousands of you watch. So if you're enjoying them, if you're one of the regular viewers of this, it's time to, be a rascal, hit that button. Make that your resolution for 2023. Help brother out, You can contact us at buildwiththeboys@outlook.com. We are happy to answer any questions you may have. If you come across any problems, happy to help there. If you just want to chat Titanic, we're happy to do that. Or just chat models in general, we're happy to do that as well. If you would like to show us your work, this is what I'm working on, these are the mods I've made. We'd love to see them, and I'd be happy to show them on the channel if you're happy for me to show them. It'd be good. I promise to get back to anybody who contacts me. If you don't want to email, you can pop it in the comments as well. That's all from me for this one. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice, and I will catch you for more Titanic in issue 43. See you then.